Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Swiss NBA playoffs. Thursday night, continuing on. Playoffs started off really rough for me, but actually the last few days have been better. Not great, but at least I'm not losing truckloads of money anymore. So thank God that horrible cold streak seems to be over. Now let's turn it into some winning, though. Been pretty much hovering, breaking even for 4 or 5 days now. It's time to put some W's together. So I'm recording this on Wednesday evening. Wednesday night games haven't started yet. So hopefully by the time you're watching this, I went 2-0 on Wednesday. But yeah, I'm going through both Thursday night's games. Let's do it.
Welcome to the Swiss. The Swiss. Swiss. Hey, get the Swiss.
First up, we got Milwaukee on the road in Indiana. Pacers lead this series 3-2. They're laying 8 points at home here in Game 6. Total sitting at 215.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we should see a 5-point Pacers win. Final score 119-114 Indiana. Injuries and inactives, and we'll start with Milwaukee. Obviously, dealing with two huge injuries here, and that's been the story all series. Damian Lillard is listed as questionable. Giannis is listed as questionable. Giannis is yet to play a game in the postseason. Damian Lillard missed game 4 and 5, so he's missed the last two. From what I'm reading, it seems like there might be some kind of a chance that Giannis plays, but I mean, I just read an article, so don't take this as the gospel here. But if I had to guess based on the article I read, I'd say Giannis is closer to 50-50. Damian Lillard probably not playing. That was what I got from the article. On the Indiana side, we've got nobody on the injury report for the Pacers. All right, so let's talk about this matchup here. Obviously, we got to start with Game 5. Bucks with a huge win, 115-92 over the Pacers at home. Now, looking at this Game 6, it's back in Indiana, and my first thought was, hey, Pacers offense much better at home. So the first thing I looked at was the home-away splits for the Pacers this year. They're not nearly as significant as I thought. In overall net efficiency, they're ninth. They're ninth at home, 15th on the road. You see offensive and defensive rating pretty close. So for some reason, I had it in my head that the Pacers are just this much better team at home. And they are a better team at home, but not really by much. And it's not like this Pacers team looked dominant in their two home games in this series. I mean, Game 3 was at Indiana. The Pacers won in overtime. That was the game Middleton hit that miracle shot. Actually screwed my Bucks team total under that shot. But yeah, the Pacers won by 3 in overtime. And in the Game 4, the Pacers did win comfortably, but by 13. It wasn't a blowout. So it's not like we've seen the Pacers look dominant in this series at home where they should be laying 8 points. And I've been saying this whole time, if you've been watching the live show, you've heard me say it probably 4 or 5 times now that I don't trust this Bucks offense against the Pacers without Giannis, because they don't have anyone to attack the rim, and that's the weakness of this Pacers defense. The Pacers play good defense against a three-point shot. You've probably heard me say that 3 or 4 times because I've said it every game, but I'm beginning to think I might just be completely wrong with that assessment, because Game 4 and 5, this is without Giannis, obviously, also without Lillard. In those two games, the Bucks shot 51.1% and 52.4%. So this Bucks offense that I've been doubting, missing the pieces, they're doing just fine. In fact, they're shooting great from the floor. In fact, this postseason, amongst the 20 teams that have played postseason games, the Milwaukee Bucks are 5th in offensive rating with no Giannis and Lillard missing 2 games. So this Bucks offense looks fine. I think I was completely wrong there. What they're doing is they're slowing these games down to a crawl. Look at these splits from the Pacers here, regular season versus playoffs. You can see the Bucks are just taking the Pacers out of their element. Possessions per game. Pacers average 102.2 possessions per game in the regular season, just 92.9 in this series. Fast break points way down, 16.6 to 10 in this series. Points off turnovers way down, 17.7 to 10.6. In fact, that 10.6 points per game off turnovers, it's the second worst in the playoffs. Only the New Orleans Pelicans have scored less points off turnovers in this playoffs than the Indiana Pacers. The reason that's so significant, that's a huge part of the Pacers game. They were actually 4th in the NBA in fast break points and points off turnovers this year, the Pacers. 4th in the league this season. They're one of the worst teams in the playoffs at it. So I know Doc Rivers and this Bucks team have taken a lot of heat, and maybe some of it's deserving, but they deserve some credit right here. They're doing a great job of taking the Pacers out of their element, out of their comfort zone. Indiana is not playing the brand of basketball they want to play right now. That being said, there's definitely a lot of room for improvement here on the Indiana side. Tyrese Halliburton in the series averaging just 15.8 points per game on 43.5% shooting. Certainly we know he's capable of shooting better. 9.2 assists per game, just 31.8% from three as well. Obviously, we know basically every single number on this graphic can be better here from Halliburton. He's also dealing with an injury, so I don't know what to take away from that. But I think a big part of it is the Bucks aren't letting him play his game. They're not letting him get out in transition and run up and down the floor 105 times a night. And Siakam, I mean, remember what he did in games 1 and 2? In games 1 and 2, he was averaging 36.5 points per game on 12 rebounds per game, shooting over 64% from the floor, 50% from three. Look at his numbers in games 3 through 5, averaging just 14 points per game, shooting under 42% from the floor, 9.1% from three. I think he's like 1 for 11 or something, averaging almost half the rebounds that he did in games 1 and 2. So obviously there's room for Siakam to improve. But overall, my opinion on this series is that I was dead wrong. I think I have to come out and say that my assessment, my view of this series was wrong. I underestimated Doc Rivers, and I underestimated the veterans on the Bucks team. I got to take the 8 points here. If I get Giannis out there or Lillard, awesome. But if not, I'm rolling in with these Bucks veteran role players that I still think I got a decent bet. So even if Giannis and Lillard end up sinning, and I'm riding into this game with Bucks +8 without those two guys, I still think I could win. So give me Bucks +8 next game. New York Knicks on the road in Philly for Game 6. Knicks are up 3-2 in this series. Sixers laying 3.5 points at home. The total all the way down to 200.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, we should see a 3-point Philly win. Final score 113-110 Sixers. Injuries and inactives, and we'll start with New York, and we've got nobody. Well, actually, Mitchell Robinson is on the report, but he's listed as probable, and he was good. He played in Game 5, and he looked pretty healthy, so I don't imagine Mitchell Robinson will miss this game.
Update. So I actually didn't even know this till just now. Bogdanović has been ruled out for the rest of the playoffs. So the Knicks are also going to be missing Bogdanović coming off the bench.
On the Philadelphia side, still no Robert Covington. He's been out for months now. Joel Embiid is on the report. He's listed as questionable, but I think we all expect Joel Embiid to play in this game. So let's take a look at Game 6 here. Obviously, we got to start by taking a look at Game 5. Philly did get the win, 112-106 in overtime. I had the Sixers in that game, so I won my bet. Unfortunately, I wanted to lose that one, being a Knicks fan, but I did win the bet. This is going to be a pretty short video. I'm going to say the same thing I've said several times. I've said for the last 2 games in this series. Yes, the Knicks are ahead here. They're up 3-2 in the series. I mean, the Knicks are just 2-3 against the spread in this series. That one of their wins the Sixers did cover. And if you take a look at how this series has gone, Game 1, the Knicks won and covered. And I had the Knicks in that game. I had Knicks -3.5, so I got the win. But you remember that game? Josh Hart hit a wild, off-balance, 27-foot three-point shot with a minute to go. It was a 4-point game. If he misses that shot, and by the way, if you go look at the clip of that, it had no business going in. It was a wild shot. I was going nuts. If he misses that shot, the Knicks might not even win that game, might not cover. So Game 1 was pretty much a coin flip that the Knicks edged out, which was great. I had the Knicks. What happened in Game 2? We all know what happened in Game 2. That was the game where the phantom call where Tyrese Maxey went down. DiVincenzo hits the game-winning shot. Awesome. Knicks win. Sixers cover. But again, the Knicks weren't the better team in that game. That was a coin flip game that the Knicks happened to win the coin flip. Game 3 was all Philadelphia. Sixers controlled that game pretty much start to finish. That was the only game of the series where you could say one team was better than the other. Philly outplayed the Knicks in Game 3, won and covered. What happened in Game 4? The Knicks went into Philadelphia, got the win, 97-92. Embiid and Maxey shot a combined 15 of 40 from the floor. The Sixers lost that game more than the Knicks won it. And then in Game 5, another coin flip game. So in my opinion, the Knicks are up 3-2 in this series, but we've seen 4 coin flip games and 1 Philadelphia win. I think the Sixers, it's close, but I think the Sixers have been the better team in this series. So here they are at home in an elimination game, and I see a 3 open on BetMGM. I'm taking it. I took the Phillies last game. Took the Sixers last game. I'm rolling with them again. I hope I lose this bet, but give me the Sixers -3. Live shows tomorrow. We got 2 of them. 11:30 a.m. We'll go through the MLB games. There's only 6 on, and they're all in the day. So we'll be live at 11:30 a.m. to go through the MLB, and then we'll be live again at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know who the guests are yet. I'll let you know. We'll do NHL and NBA. So 2 live shows, 11:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. If you want my top bets or top bets from anyone from the staff here, head over to KyleKirms.com. They're all posted right there on the website. Let's have ourselves a nice Thursday, and let's drink some W's together. Let's have ourselves a great night. Hopefully, I had a winning Wednesday night by the time you're watching this. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.